Welcome back to the Actual Monster File. Today, we will be introducing a terrifying creature from Japanese folklore known as the YAMAUBA, this name meaning a witch in the mountain. The YAMAUBA is depicted in folktales as a horrifying and malevolent monster, said to dwell deep within the mountains. She is an immensely mysterious and fearsome entity, possessing unique features and appearance. First and foremost, the YAMAUBA's appearance is unforgettable. She stands tall and colossal, described as a towering giantess reaching up to 7 feet in height, emanating a chilling aura. Her skin has a grayish hue, appearing ancient and coarse, as if weathered by the passage of time. Her face is rugged and creased, adorned with deep wrinkles, accentuating her terrifying and elderly visage. Furthermore, atop the YAMAUBA's head, grows a mane of wild white hair, shimmering like strands of silver, long and disheveled, entwining her entire body like wild grass. Her eyes are deep and piercing, exuding an otherworldly glow, as if capable of peering into one's soul. Her nose is prominent and pointed, with a hint of an evil smile playing upon her nostrils. Her lips are nearly devoid of flesh, appearing shriveled and tightly clenched, and when she opens her mouth, rows of sharp teeth become faintly visible, resembling the edges of a sharp blade. The YAMAUBA's hands are robust and powerful, with sharp and curved nails resembling a hunter's talons. Her fingers are broad and rough, with a darkened skin tone, emanating an eerie aura. According to legend, her arms possess an uncanny dexterity, able to stretch and contort far beyond the capabilities of a human. Additionally, the YAMAUBA is often depicted wearing tattered robes. The colors of her garments have faded with time, presenting a gloomy and desolate tone. They bear remnants of soil and dust, evoking a sense of desolation and decay. Her robes are riddled with cracks and holes, exposing her body that has been ravaged by the passage of years. Furthermore, the YAMAUBA possesses some unique traits. Her voice is deep and hoarse, resonating with a malevolent power. Her movements are swift and agile, allowing her to navigate the forest with ease, always lurking in the shadowy corners, ready to strike those who dare intrude upon her territory. The YAMAUBA possesses immense strength and extraordinary abilities. Her towering and colossal physique is accompanied by astonishing power and endurance. She can easily snap trees, tear apart rocks, and even kick open doors with a single blow. According to legends, her arms possess an uncanny dexterity, able to stretch and contort far beyond human capabilities. This grants her a significant advantage in battle, effortlessly defeating any challengers. She can effortlessly tear apart her prey, even human bodies. In addition to her formidable strength, the YAMAUBA possesses magical shape-shifting abilities. She can effortlessly change her form, transforming from a colossal monster into a small animal or an ordinary elderly woman. This shape-shifting ability allows her to easily conceal her identity, deceiving and confusing people. When disguised as an old woman, she can infiltrate human society, secretly monitoring and attacking those who enter her territory. The YAMAUBA also possesses potent spells and magical abilities. She can unleash various wicked spells, such as summoning demons, manipulating storms, and controlling flames. Her spellcasting abilities enable her to inflict lethal harm upon her enemies, and she can create illusions to deceive and torment her prey. Additionally, she has the ability to foresee the future, predicting disasters and misfortune, using this knowledge to her advantage. The YAMAUBA prefers to be active during the night, especially during dark and stormy nights. At these times, her powers reach their peak, becoming even more menacing. She emerges from the depths of the mountains, gracefully maneuvering through the forests, emitting bone-chilling roars and wicked laughter. The YAMAUBA often appears in remote mountainous areas and forests, particularly in places seldom visited by humans. She chooses these locations as her territory to hide and protect herself. She is highly sensitive to the intrusion of strangers and actively pursues and attacks those who dare trespass into her domain. Apart from lying in wait for unsuspecting travelers, the YAMAUBA also ventures out to capture and devour people, particularly enjoying the taste of children. The YAMAUBA's territory is generally considered dangerous and forbidden. People believe that unusual phenomena occur within her domain, such as sudden disorientation, hearing eerie sounds, or encountering inexplicable illusions. These are all manifestations of her using her magical abilities and spells to intimidate and terrify people, instilling fear and despair in their hearts. The YAMAUBA delights in feasting on the souls and life force of humans. She hides within the dense forests, patiently waiting for the opportune moment to ambush her prey. She feeds on human fear and suffering, luring innocent people into her traps, relishing in their extreme agony. It is said that she even captures people's souls, keeping them perpetually under her control. There is a legend that goes like this: a man went on a journey and passed through the mountains late at night. He saw a small wooden hut and decided to stay there for the night. As soon as he entered the hut, he saw an extremely ugly and disheveled old woman sitting by the fireplace, looking like a monster. Although the man felt uneasy, he had already entered the hut and had no choice but to ask the old woman if he could spend the night there. The old woman agreed without saying a word. After the man sat down, he carefully examined the old woman, and the more he looked, the more he felt that she was not human. He thought to himself, could I have encountered a YAMAUBA? At that moment, the old woman's face revealed a sinister smile and said, you were just thinking in your mind, could I have encountered a YAMAUBA, right? The man hurriedly said, no, no. To avoid embarrassment, the man lay down with his back to the YAMAUBA, pretending to sleep. But in his mind, he was still wondering, could she eat me in the middle of the night? Then, he heard the voice of the old woman from behind saying, you were just thinking, could she eat you in the middle of the night, right? The man, seeing that the old woman seemed to have the ability to read minds, was too scared to respond. Then the man heard the sound of pots and boiling water behind him. He thought, oh no! Is this old woman going to boil me alive? As expected, the old woman once again hit the mark with what the man was thinking. The man's face turned pale with fear and he thought, no, I have to find a way to escape. The old woman sneered and said, you think you can run away as you please? At that moment, the man immediately jumped up, leaving behind his belongings, and quickly rushed out of the small wooden hut. However, the YAMAUBA also has some weaknesses. According to legends, she feels extreme fear and powerlessness towards certain sacred items and spells. These items can block her abilities, even trapping or expelling her from an area. Therefore, some brave individuals would use these sacred items and spells to confront the YAMAUBA, attempting to drive her out of their territory. Furthermore, the YAMAUBA has a particular habit of gathering with other monsters and evil spirits. On specific days, she would summon various evil creatures and spirits, forming a terrifying group. This gathering often signifies the arrival of disasters and instills extreme fear and unease among the local people. The YAMAUBA also has a special characteristic: she has an enormous appetite. There is a legend about a merchant who encountered a YAMAUBA on the road. The YAMAUBA asked him, please give me a fish. So the merchant handed her a fish. In front of the astonished merchant, the YAMAUBA swallowed the raw fish in one bite, without even spitting out the bones. Then, without asking any further, she jumped onto the merchant's cart and started grabbing more fish, stuffing them into her mouth one by one. Before long, dozens of pounds of fish were devoured by the YAMAUBA, leaving the merchant in despair. But even after eating all that, the YAMAUBA was still not satisfied and began to eat the ox pulling the cart. Fearing that the YAMAUBA would consume him after finishing the ox, the merchant quietly escaped. Not only does the YAMAUBA have a huge appetite, but she also enjoys drinking alcohol. She would go to the market to buy alcohol from humans, but her wine bottle is like a bottomless pit. No matter how much is poured into it, it never gets full. The above is the introduction to the YAMAUBA today. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing and scary stories. Also, please click the like button to support our program. If you want to submit your own story, please send it to our address at midnightwhisper@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.